Hey, everybody. It's me, Jake, from Jakin.Off. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. This week, I am joined by a very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big, warm round of applause to Aaron Scarbrough. Let him hear it. Let Aaron hear it. He is a comedian, one of my good friends from here in Kansas City. You can follow him on Instagram at bad.aaron.scarbrough, or is it .Scarbrough?
Bad.Aaron.Scarbrough.
So the second dot's in there, bad.aaron.scarbrough. The link is going to be in the description. Aaron has some fantastic art. He's a good comedian. You should check him out. Great comedian. I don't know why I said good, but
I will settle for good.
Friend of the pod, Aaron Scarbrough. Give him a like, give him a follow, and you can follow this podcast at Jakin.Off.Podcast, or you can send anything at all to Jakin.Off.Podcast at gmail.com. We'll look at it at least once if you send it there. And yeah, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, that kind of thing. We're really scrounging here. I'm begging you. I'm begging you, please. I'm just kidding. We're not desperate. Everything's fine. Everything's good. Nothing's getting repossessed at my place. So go ahead and have a good listen to the episode. Thank you for listening to the episode.
Oh, won't you take off with me? Oh, I know it's your fantasy. Oh, won't you take off with me? Yeah, we're taking off every week.
Hell yeah, dude. I didn't do any comedy this weekend. I've just been, focusing on what's important, focusing on what matters, which is just myself. Thinking about me.
That's good. You're getting more into individualism. Rugged individualism.
You know what? Actually, Brett and I, speaking of individualism, Brett and I in March are going to the Missouri are going to the Missouri Libertarian Party convention.
Where at?
In St. Joseph, Missouri.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we're going. It's a 2-day.
Rules.
Friday is for networking,
and
then Saturday is for speeches and stuff. We're gonna go. Are
you gonna do some man on the street shit?
I am gonna try to get press passes for us.
Yeah.
But at the very least, we're gonna go and do some secret recording.
Can I run something by you?
Yeah, go ahead. My plan. First, let me tell you my plan so far.
Okay.
Is I'm just gonna go there and be like, what are you guys doing here? What is going on? What are you guys doing?
They will be so eager to tell you.
I know. That's going to be my man on the street. What is going on here?
You should go dressed as a cop.
Oh, yeah, dude. No, because
the libertarians, that's confusing because, they... I would think they wouldn't like cops, but then they like property a lot.
Yes.
And you don't really get one without the other.
No, dude, exactly. I was going to say it's
someone's got to defend the property.
On face value, they don't seem like they would go together, but once you learn more about cops and libertarians, you realize there's a huge that Venn diagram is just one circle, dude.
Yeah.
That's why, dude, I mean, so many cops are also willing to join, militias or whatever, that kind of shit, right-wing militias. 'Cause they're the don't tread on me guys.
They are.
Those are the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how they
they go out and they tread.
Well,
and then they come back home and they go, well, I don't want that happening to me.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes to escape the boot, you have to become the boot.
Yeah.
Stop licking the boot, become the boot.
Yeah.
Good name for the episode.
But in this case, they're like, well, my daddy was a boot. and my granddaddy was a boot.
Yeah.
And his daddy before him was a boot.
And then you pick whichever one lived around 1840 and ask what their their day to day as a cop was then. What were they up to?
Yeah. Property was a little different back in those
Who were they
days.
protecting and serving?
Well, you know what, Aaron? I don't want to be too presumptuous, but I think that we're sort of leading right into what we're going to talk about. So, should give you some context. Brett and I, we're always workshopping. We're always thinking here at Jakin.Off. We always are. We're innovating. We consider ourselves less of a podcast and more of an innovation movement.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, to be totally honest, that's kind of how I think about it. Brett, am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So we're always innovating. We're always thinking, and we're brainstorming guest ideas recently, not too long ago. Brett had a suggestion of somebody that we all mutually know this person. There's nothing that I have against this person necessarily, but I was expressing to Brett because this isn't a comedian or anything like that. It's nobody. They're outside of that sort of realm, and I was expressing to Brett, hey man, like for some reason I can't put my finger on it, but like I feel as if well, I guess I'll back up. When I started doing comedy, prior to that, I had no artistic like
outlet.
Not even outlet, but I would say like I had no sort of like I had nothing like I viewed art in general as like a hoity-toity. I was like, oh, that's what hoity-toity people do.
A bunch of liberal crap,
dude. Not even. I mean, I guess looking back now, like I would describe something about it as political, but at the time, I didn't necessarily think of it that way,
right?
Because I wasn't awoken to class politics yet.
Yeah.
But at that time, I was like, well, this is like that's something that like people do. That don't the way that I viewed it is like art school or like going to like especially like an expensive art school, like a school that is dedicated to art. Like I viewed it as like this thing for like
the bourgeoisie,
and at the time I couldn't put my finger on what that was. But after Brett and I were having this conversation, I realized that what it kind of was is that when as I started doing comedy and you become adjacent to some of these other art communities, you start to see how exclusive some of them can feel at times, if that makes sense. And what I'm speaking to specifically is like I've run across or like we have friends who, for instance, like went to the Kansas City Art Institute, which here in Kansas City is like a very it's an expensive school. Like it is like a very expensive school. It's a good art institute from my understanding. I don't know a ton about it, but my understanding is a very good art school, but it's very expensive. You either have to have scholarship funds or very wealthy parents to go there.
Yes.
And in my experience, that has sort of churned out a exclusive pocket of the art community in Kansas City in a way. And I was like, maybe that's something. Like maybe that's like my feelings about this are a thing. Maybe it doesn't exist at all. I don't know. I'm going to look into it. And what I found, Aaron, and I think we've talked about this before, about the CIA and art.
That perked Aaron right up.
So
I'm listening.
I think you might be on board with what I found. I know that the beginning of this is sounding disparaging, and I'm not trying to be disparaging, but I am trying to describe something that does exist, actually, as it turns out. So before we get too deep into the weeds, we're going to talk about the CIA and art. Do you know anything about this?
A little bit.
Okay. Give me the rundown of like your sort of like idea of what it is, because I bet that it's pretty close to what I'm about to talk about too.
So as I understand it, like almost immediately when the CIA came into existence, and this
after
was after
World
War
II.
II.
Yes.
they started experimenting with various like culture war tactics.
Yes, the cultural Cold War.
Yes.
Yeah.
And long story short, that involved working with like the Rockefellers who were involved with like the Museum of Modern Art.
Yes.
And they started funneling money towards abstract expressionist painters like Jackson Pollock for many reasons, like one of them being to make the Soviets look bad for their art movement at the time, which was like socialist realism, which highlighted the plight of the working class.
So in other words, just to if I could rephrase what you're saying, an aspect of it was they were like, well, we can't have people painting what they see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We don't want people painting the world around them because then they might catch on to the way shit really is.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, right? Like that was like a big part
and
of it.
there were like social realism, aka also known as socialist realism.
Mm-hmm.
Like it had different, it took different forms in different countries and whatnot.
Yes.
Even like certain Van Gogh paintings are considered social realism because they depict like suffering, like
an aspect of social life,
like farmers and workers and whatnot. But there's also like the CIA wanted to give the appearance that in America, you can be whatever you want here.
Yes.
We have real freedom.
Yes.
So we're going to give money. We're going to make this artist rich who just jizzes on a canvas.
Yes.
Dude, that's the guy that
exactly.
And it's going to piss everyone off.
Yeah.
And it's going to associate art, which has the potential to be revolutionary.
Yes.
It's going to in everyone's mind, it's going to paint a picture that art is for the bourgeoisie, for
exactly
the robber barons.
It did it to me. That's how that is exactly that.
You were a victim to
dude, because in my mind I was like, and I do think that this speaks to something that is part of the current political climate here in the United States as well, where you have this. Jordan Peterson talks about it all the time. He's like, these postmodernists, like that kind of shit. This reaction against this kind of stuff, because in my view, or like the way that I would describe it, is maybe not the core intended consequence of what they were doing, right? Like the intended consequences are exactly what you said. They wanted to project this image that America, look at how kooky this is, and you're allowed to do it there because it's free. They have freedom, but you can be like that because it's America and they're free. And then the other leg, obviously, of it was what you were describing, which is we don't want them painting suffering. We had just come out of an era of the Great Depression where people
labor
are painting
movement.
like fucking people breaking apart rocks with pickaxes and shit like that.
Yeah.
They don't want you to see that.
No.
Because then you might get hip to what they want.
They don't want you seeing that. They want you to just hear Yoko Ono going,
yes,
whatever.
Exactly. And so those were the two like actual things that these guys were thinking of when they did this. But one of the unintended consequences, which I think they maybe, I don't want to give them credit for being smart enough to think of this, because I don't think that these sorts of people who work in these positions within the CIA or whatever are actually that intelligent, and they more are just like ideologically driven.
Yeah.
But one of the, what I would consider probably largely unintended consequences is that it severed the connection that between a lot of art and the real world. And it made people become more introspective, which is, people have been doing introspective art since the beginning of time. But like it's the fact that it has become so centered in the art world is a result of this sort of movement that made art sort of less accessible to the everyday average person. And the result of that also is that it created this sort of aristocratic market for art as well.
Yeah.
And that's why you see like these paintings by somebody like Jackson Pollock that you look at and you're like, that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm. I've always hated Jackson Pollock, and I like got so much shit from my art teacher, and I'm just like, it's it's just fucking gobbledygook.
So that's the other thing that I wanted to bring up. So the other result of this, this is just me speculating. Like I'm being a little conspiratorial. Don't, you know what? Sue me. It's called Jakin.Off, all right? I can't always be the voice of reason.
Yeah. Well, the government's really cracking down on people who know that the CIA was bad in the Cold War. So,
but dude, the other thing, which kind of leads into what Brett is talking about, what Brett is talking about is that the people who were sort of shaped by this expressionist sort of movement that was spurned on by like a psyop. I mean, it's literally a psyop. Those people go on to become professors. They go on to become, influential artists and things of that nature. And so it perpetuates this. It makes it maybe bigger than it would have been without the CIA's help, right?
Right.
And you get sort of where we're at now, which is nobody is hanging up paintings of laborers like in factories or whatever, like that are depicting like horrors that people live on a day-to-day basis. That has become devalued, while the value of like you tie a paint can to a string and like spin it around in a room has become like incredibly valuable.
It's jizz on a canvas, dude. That's what it's called.
We're talking about Reload, the Metallica album, Jizz on the Canvas. Right?
Jizz on the canvas. I don't know. I
really what I'm hoping is, will you tell me, am I off base here?
No.
I don't think that this is crazy, right? Like,
no,
this is like very...
Jake, I feel like Morpheus right now. This is a good start. One of
the articles that I read was called "Art for the 99%." It was in Jacobin, and this guy was... Basically, he was referring to this study this professor in Denmark did that basically showed that the high, like for every $10,000 of wealth that your family has, you are 2% more likely to pursue a creative career. And the reason for that, and this is something that I'm sure you're familiar with, because correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron, but you didn't go to some highfalutin art school.
No.
You went to...
No. My whole life has just been like unintentional.
Just happy accidents all around.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, accidents all around.
But even at the school that you went to, I'm sure that you met kids who were like, I'm going to art school, I'm going to be an artist, and they had the backing of, I guess like you could call them angel investors or their parents.
Yeah.
And so they could, at a certain point, like, and this happens in comedy a lot too. Nick Kroll is a great example of somebody who is like from a family that is like so eminently wealthy,
billionaires,
that,
I believe.
Yeah, and they're involved in like private prisons and whatnot.
Yeah, private prisons. They're
private
doing
security.
Like, private security
he's
stuff.
a blood prince.
Yeah, exactly. Though,
yeah,
that you can commit to a career that is in a creative space so much easier than somebody like. I would say yourself, like you're not like some trust fund baby. Like
no,
you
although
live
my parents, like the thing is, like I grew up with parents who have money, but they hate me. So I've been an artist like
I've never known you as somebody
for 4 years.
I've never known you as somebody whose dad like pays their rent.
No,
and not that somebody who has that is inherently a bad person.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to acknowledge it gives you a pretty big leg up when it comes to doing things that are maybe like spiritually fulfilling, but not financially fulfilling, right? Like
absolutely.
You can go to you can do stand-up comedy like Nick Kroll did. You can even paint your days away without having to worry about.
Well, you're hitting on something like all the stuff you've said so far is like it's leading to a good point, and that's that like the higher up you get in like the art world, like the more prestigious the galleries you get involved with, and the higher your paintings sell, the more and more you get involved with straight up like money laundering.
Yeah,
and
scam artists.
Well,
it's how the studio system works.
Take like the art museums, like even in this region, like the Crystal Bridges down in Arkansas, which is
it's ran by Walmart.
It's like the Walton family has this like insane collection of artifacts and just like art history. And billionaires love this type of thing because they get to put their money in like kind of a tax haven sort of situation, while the value of this art probably goes up and up and up as time goes on.
Right.
Meanwhile, they seem like the good guys because they're like, oh, we're providing this for the community or whatever.
And none of the paintings are of people who work at Walmart.
No.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So strange that you come into our museum and none of the paintings are of anybody in a blue vest.
Right.
That is like having a hard time standing up.
No, they wouldn't have that. They have big enough collections, like, and same with the Nelson, which is all owned by like the richest families in town.
Most art museums are privately owned, is my understanding. Like the ones that are publicly owned are like there's like a board of directors and those people are incredibly wealthy and
all the time, dude.
So there's no sort of, once you get like up to a certain stratosphere, there's no escaping, like you're gonna be around some of the like wealthiest people in the world because they view this as like it's like a way to store their wealth and expand it, make it, like you said, like the value never goes down. And in a large part, it works similar to, I don't want to compare like apples to oranges in terms of like the artistic value, but like the way that it economically works, it's like NFTs where the value is just dictated by how much people kind of say it's worth and agree, or like tulips. It's like tulips in Denmark.
It's also like art history, even though like it has like really cool implications. Like it's interesting to look at like periods of history from the lens of like the painters of the time or whatever. But it's that section of history, or that brand of history, art history, it is like kind of a weird, like it's like a cult that most people have no fucking idea about any of it.
Yeah.
And it's so weird that like a Van Gogh painting, Van Gogh doesn't affect people's lives today like Chapel Rowan does.
Yeah. or Aiden Ross. Yeah. Or I get what you're saying.
But because
Chapel Rowan is
an elite group of people know the story of Van Gogh, and he's so infamous, the value of a Van Gogh painting is just like it's oftentimes like incalculable.
It's a pump and dump, dude. All you have to do is make sure that there's somebody who's willing to pay more than you did for the painting.
Right.
Another aspect of it, and something I'm thinking of when you guys are talking about this, is in that Metallica movie, some kind of monster, Lars Ulrich is selling this like 8-foot wide Basquiat painting, and he's just like, this is a duplicate. Like they get people to make like 1-to-1 dupes of them so they can have them in their house, because they're like, well, I don't want things because these paintings have to be in storage with like humidity control. You're paying for them to basically be stored in a warehouse, and you have the idea that you own it, but then you have a duplicate on the wall, so if you accidentally splash tomato soup on it or whatever, it's not ruining a
because it's an investment. It's not something for you to enjoy anymore,
Right.
and it's not really for anybody to enjoy. And that's the whole point, though, is like if you created paintings that fucking 18-year-old me would have enjoyed, it would fucking destroy the liberal world order.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh no, we've ruined everything.
Which would be just like naked paintings of hot dudes.
Naked boobs
Naked hot.
and butts.
I've been making some homoerotic paintings.
Wow.
You've
That's
seen the
cool,
one
though.
of Jeff Nelson.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Of Dustin.
Of course. Yes, of course.
Sexy cowboy Dustin.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, that kind of lays the groundwork for a little game we're going to play.
Ooh.
Which I think you'll really thoroughly enjoy. This game is called Name That Celebrity Artist.
Oh, okay.
And so what we've done is I'm going to show you some paintings, and these paintings are done by somebody famous. This is going to be somebody that's actor, musician, politician, you name it. But they're like, these are really famous people. They have like a lot of fame and wealth. And then I'm going to give you multiple choice answers on who it could be.
Okay.
And you'll have to guess. And you know what? We got 10.
Okay.
We got 10 of them. Some of them, there's multiple paintings. Some of them, there's multiple.
You can always tell a depth,
pieces of art.
Yeah. There better be a Johnny
Well, maybe
Depp
we'll
on
see.
there.
We'll see, dude. We'll see if you can guess. But yeah, it's gonna be a real fun time. So we're gonna start with this first set of paintings. Sorry, this is gonna be the part that takes the longest, I think.
That's fine. We'll deal with it in post.
Yeah, Brett, you're gonna have to do some shit in post. Hold on. So we're gonna play a little game called Name That Celebrity Painting. Name that celebrity artist. Excuse me. I'm gonna show you paintings, or sculptures, or I'm just gonna show you some art. Yeah, you'll figure it out, and you're gonna guess which celebrity made the piece of art. That
I hope I'm good at this.
So, yeah, dude, it's kind of gonna be pretty messed up if you're not. So coming up first, we got this little bad boy right here. Hold on. Let me read you some options. First of all, go ahead and describe what you're seeing. Give us a little critique of this. If you need me to zoom in, I can. Whoops. I think it kind of. But what is this a painting of, Aaron? What are we looking at?
So we're looking at a landscape, and I'm having trouble telling. Like, it looks like a watercolor to me.
It is.
And I'll tell you what, it's this is a real pile of shit.
This
is a person, whoever painted this, the composition is so boring that it makes me feel like I'm amazed. I'd be amazed to find out that they didn't mean to make it boring. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even, it's so boring that it's like there's genius behind it. It's like there is nothing remarkable going on here. So, I hate landscapes where you just like don't know what to focus on. Like, there's no punch to this.
The clouds, I believe they're clouds in the background, are insane. Like those, that's not how clouds look.
Well,
I
love it when things are like, that's not how clouds look or whatever. I love when people make it their own.
Yeah.
But it's just.
But I think that he was. I
don't even know if those. I think those are.
They.
Are those clouds
all
or
the
mountains?
Options that we have are meant.
That's
what I was having a hard time seeing, whether or not those were clouds or those were mountains. So, Aaron, on a scale of 1 to 10, would you or not a scale of 1 to 10, would you hang this in your gallery, Aaron? Would you hang it? You're curating a gallery. Would it make it into the Scarborough wing of the Nelson Atkins
Brother, I wouldn't.
Museum?
I would not hang this in an Applebee's.
That's perfect.
This is an affront to art and human nature at large.
All right, so here are going to be your options for who this could be.
Is it Adolf Hitler?
It's not Adolf Hitler.
Okay.
It is. Is it A, Patrick Stewart, B, Jeffrey Epstein, C, Prince Charles, or D, David Beckham?
Oh, man. Could you give me the options again?
So we have Patrick Stewart, Jeffrey Epstein, Prince Charles, or David Beckham. Which, to be fair, I'm not sure. We were talking earlier. We were like, I don't know if he's still the prince anymore, but that's who he is to me. He's still a little boy to me.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna. Here's the thing. I feel like after hearing the options and after having looked at this for a couple of minutes, I feel like I'm certain that this is the painting of a person that is pretending to be human, and so I know that doesn't narrow it down with that list at all. But I'm going to go with Prince Charles.
Ding, ding, ding. You got it right, dude. You were right.
I did?
Yeah, you were right.
I'll add the dings in post.
Yeah, ding, ding, ding. Okay, so I don't have to say it then.
Yeah.
Nice, dude. This having a producer rules.
Yeah, I need to get the fucking soundboard still.
Okay, dude. So you're 1 for 1.
All right.
Let's go. That feels good, doesn't it?
Oh, it feels great.
Here's another picture of Prince Charles next to one of his other paintings. I just thought this would be funny to kind of show you.
Oh my God.
Here's another one that's kind of complete dog shit too, huh?
Yeah.
If you didn't like that one, you're gonna hate this one.
Well, wow, look at that.
It's one of those things too where it's like,
I actually don't hate that as much.
Wow. Okay, dude.
That's
you heard
that's
it
a
here.
better that's a
You
better
heard it
painting.
here.
Marginally.
Aaron Scarbrough. Aaron Scarbrough is a royalist.
Oh wait, the painting's on the right. Never mind. Never mind. Oh God.
Aaron Scarbrough loves
terrible.
Prince Charles's painting.
Dude.
Okay, dude. So Prince Charles, you got that one right. That's pretty good, Aaron. Okay. We're going to keep things moving right along. I'm using my left-handed mouse. Okay, here comes something. This kind of, I feel like, goes into the category. Would this be expressionism? Mm-hmm. What would you call this? What is this kind of art here?
What I would call this is borderline personality disorder. Once again, and this is partly just like a matter of taste, but I hate things that are just like busy, like for no goddamn reason.
Yeah.
You know, this is like some kind of abstract expressionism, but like there are like recognizable-ish forms in it. Yeah, this is the type of like brainless doodle that it kind of just it's hard to justify.
It looks like a bunch of it's like a bunch of eyes are poking out of the ends of Chinese finger traps.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like what a lot of it looks like.
Whatever's going on, I wish it would stop.
Okay, so would this make it into your gallery, Aaron?
Into my
or where would you not hang this one outside? Would it make it to an Applebee's?
Listen, I feel like I want to be clear that like after the last one, like it was so like harsh, my critique or whatever. Like this has use. I feel like you could use this as a napkin.
Dude, that is brutal. That's exactly what I wanted, though. This is why I invited you on to do this. Perfect. So this one's horseshit, total dog shit. You'd use it as a napkin. You'd use it to wipe your ass. Let's figure out who painted it, Aaron.
I didn't say that last part, by the way.
You said you fucking hated it, dude.
I have standards.
You want to
toilet paper standards?
Yeah, you use a bidet. Okay, so let's guess who painted this. Aaron, was it A, Margaret Thatcher?
Okay.
B, Ringo Starr? C, Pierce Brosnan? Or D, J.K. Rowling?
Oh, Lord. So with this one, I got to give my reasoning before I say, because I feel like this is the work of someone who is trying to not deal with their own hideousness. And so I'm going to go with J.K. Rowling on this one.
Okay. This is going to get some sort of negative sound effect because you didn't get this one right. This was actually Pierce Brosnan. Famously played James Bond. Here's a picture of him in his studio. Looking like a fucking absolute psychopath, dude.
Yeah.
And
I love the suit underneath the art
smock.
Yeah,
he's wearing a fucking Italian suit underneath a leather art smock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is I guess like I've only seen his acting in like those like really whimsical James Bond films that he was in. He brought a sort of just like cartoonish like I don't know, like he's just like a skinny, flimsy James Bond guy or whatever.
Yeah.
But his acting style kind of does give a little bit of failed painter vibes.
Let me see. Is this one of the ones that we have the website for, Brett?
Oh, yeah.
Where is it?
Okay, so Aaron, this painting that we're showing was originally when he started in 1980. Do you think he's gotten any better or any worse since then, or has his style changed? What do you think his style looks like now?
Wait, and this is still Piers?
Yep.
Yeah, so this is, we can kind of go through the ages with Pierce Brosnan here. If you want to see the 1990s, the 2000s.
I'm guessing that for this one, like I'm guessing it's like the exact same painting, but
just blobs of color.
Yeah. I don't know.
Actor, activist. I wonder what he's an activist about, actually. Let's click this.
Bad
I did not
art.
read this. Yeah, dude, he's going to be like, I'm boots on the ground in Israel backing him up.
Yeah. His activism is like he's like a Boer activist or whatever. Apartheid South Africa.
He's like, give the farmers their land back. Mm-hmm. Give the white South African farmers their land back. I don't know if you guys know anything about that. Take the white South African farmers' land, guys. I'll tell you, they didn't get it by the most honest of means. You're never going to believe it.
That might be the most polite way that you could possibly put that.
Poisoning Paradise, the film. Journey to the... Let me zoom in on this a little bit. Oh, this is about Native Hawaiians. Okay, Pierce. Okay.
I'll allow that.
Yeah, we'll allow it.
Of course, he did play James Bond, which is like a propaganda tool for British
exactly
ghouls,
imperialism,
right?
And
but he was also the shitty stepdad option in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, you're right. We shouldn't put him in a box.
Yeah, dude, we're boxing him in.
Don't put Piers in a box.
Don't put him in a box.
Don't put Piers Morgan in a box either. He sees both sides to everything. He's like,
hey, maybe some of his art will be on
hold
here,
on, hold on.
Did you know that he paints?
Piers Morgan?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it was just
his
a matter
shit didn't
of
make
time.
the cut. It was too good.
Was it?
Kidding. I'm joking. Okay, let me show you. We have two paintings for this one to show you. Moving on to our next. Aaron, go ahead and describe what you're looking at here.
I am looking at something that looks very CIA funded. Is this the work of Lee Harvey Oswald? Yeah, here's a tube of of all the primaries. Now paint your demons. Also, here's a long range rifle. Go play. All right. So
you'll notice up here there is a bit of a zoom in on a boxing glove, which could potentially give away a little bit of information about it. But do you want me to show you the other picture that we have? Or first, I guess let's see.
Hang on, we got to read.
There's this one.
Hang on, we got content.
You're right.
In this one.
You're right. I'm being a little too rushed.
This fucking Neanderthal has something to say. All right.
It says the eyes are the scouts of the heart.
The eyes are the scouts of the heart.
Now, scouts, that kind of sounds like a little like almost doesn't sound like kind of military to you.
Yeah.
Like who uses the word scout like that?
The Boy Scouts.
Yeah,
guys, this
Scouts,
is why
maybe.
you should not paint on Molly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And adults, it says kids and myth. Is that what is it? Myth.
Myth.
This like if archaeologists like discovered this on the wall of a cave, they'd be like, see, yes, the Neanderthals had not developed consciousness yet.
So what is this one making it into the fucking gallery, dude?
That would be hilarious. That would
you
be
would
the
put it in
funniest.
ironically.
Yeah, as a bit.
Yeah.
Like, yep, we're showcasing some children's art.
Yeah, this would be like you would hang this in front of the the nursery.
This belongs on like a refrigerator somewhere. Like some child's home.
I don't know. Like I think even in a home with kids, you gotta have standards.
Do you want to see the other painting? That this person did. Do you have anything else to say?
No,
about this?
I want to see all the work of this person that I possibly can. Okay.
What do you think this one's trying to say, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean this is a cry for help.
Life.
Yeah.
Life.
This is kind of what I imagine. Like, this comes from the mind of someone who really loves the movie Inception.
Hey, maybe they were in the movie Inception, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. This person had, a tube of blue, a tube of red, and a tube of primary yellow, and they also had 15 minutes. That's all I know. Yeah.
Life.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready to guess who painted these monstrosities, Aaron?
Yes. Lay it on me.
Okay. So was it A, Sylvester Stallone, B, Francesca Scorsese, C, Robert De Niro, or D, Michael B. Jordan?
Oh no.
Sylvester Stallone, Francesca Scorsese, Robert De Niro, or Michael B. Jordan?
Well,
I feel like you picked up on a lot of the hints that were present in this in the two artworks that we looked at.
Yeah, think about life.
think about life. That doesn't narrow it down at all. Life. But it's like, okay. I mean, When I was looking at it initially, I was like, this is from like a very, like I kept saying, alluding to how like primitive I think this person's mind is.
Yes, yes.
And so my gut tells me Sylvester Stallone, but at the same time, I would think that Sylvester Stallone's art would just be like an X. You know, I don't know if his brain could do this.
So what is it, dude?
Dude, I'm gonna feel so bad if it's Michael B. Jordan. But also, like, if it is, like, fucking read a book, man. You know what's funny is that, like, I was guessing just like in my head before I got the options, and I was like, my other idea was Demi Lovato.
I knew we should have had one of the options be an open option.
Yeah.
All right, who's extremely stupid but also extremely self-important? Yeah, let's go with Stallone.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
Dude, you got it. You're right.
Dude.
When you called him a meathead, dude, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Spot on. Spot on, dude. That's so awesome. Okay. We're doing it.
I love this.
Show his beautiful
this should
website.
just be the show now.
Yeah, let's see the website, dude. We can do this a bunch. We can do this anytime you want.
This is the most I've ever had, frankly.
Okay, let me find. Wait, does he have a website?
Yeah, I think I definitely sent it in that email.
The Guardian article. That's not about it. No, I don't think I have it in this email.
Ooh.
Let's see. Ringo Starr. Oh. Whoops.
Well, we're doing research. Just because they're bad doesn't mean we include them.
Yeah.
Okay,
here it is. Stallone
I should have titled them better and sectioned them off.
Okay. I probably shouldn't be reading it out loud.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. So here's
he found a piece of plywood, like
life. It
oh
says
my
life
god.
Again. He puts life on his shit a lot, dude. He is like describing it as like meathead is perfect because
how many times has he been concussed is the real question.
I don't.
With all the Rocky shit, he didn't get concussed once.
Do you want to do a fan community? Let's go see what the
like
fan
he was
community.
Stupid
oh, we have to
before
log
that.
in.
Boo.
That's fucking nuts, bro. Let's see how much it is. Let's see how much his shop is. The Stallone shop.
Some of them were selling for like 6 figures, though. That's what I was saying. And that's what's insane about a lot of these people is it's the worst shit, and it's just money laundering at the end of the day. You'd have to... Or like... What I was alluding to earlier is the gallery system is money laundering because they're taking 30% of whatever it sells for. So you have to, 1, upcharge your artwork, and 2, they're probably your friend or you own the gallery.
Yeah.
And then you write some of it off. I don't know. It's
Here's
just
an
all
interesting.
laundering.
Here's an interesting art fact. Have you ever heard the quote? Bad artists copy, great artists steal. So people attribute that to Pablo Picasso, but it was actually Carlos Mencia.
He did it better. Dude, who would have thought that Joe Rogan calling out Carlos Mencia would ultimately lead to all this, huh?
You mean the intellectual dark web?
Yeah. Yeah, who could have thought, dude? Who could have thunk it?
I knew it was just a matter of time.
All right, are you ready to move on?
I've never been more ready. Uh-oh. Now, here we have a very talented young brain.
I can't remember what order we put these in. Can you describe what you're seeing?
Dude. Okay, so This does so this piece does have a good section to it, but it's just the copyright down there. It says copyright Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Oh dang! I missed that. Damn. Okay.
But that is the best part of this. This image.
Dude, that's so funny. Fuck.
It was hard to find.
Our cover's blown.
Fuck.
No, this one.
I like that the back legs of the elephant are like so huge, and then it has like skinny, tiny front legs, and it has a human's mouth. Like the elephant has a human's mouth and a human's eye.
Yeah. This took no planning at all.
Do you guys know what? So Anthony Hopkins was in the Thor movie, and he would go through the script and write NAR, and somebody was like, "What does NAR mean?" And he said, "No acting required." So
what?
Yeah.
Like,
so I'm sure he said the same thing with.
For reading his lines or something?
For acting, because he's like a British stage actor.
Oh.
So I'm sure he was thinking the same thing where painting. He was like, oh, I'm going to paint, no painting required. Like
that is one of the things that happens to people is it's like, what do they call it? They call it like the Nobel Prize syndrome, right? Like it happens to a lot of Nobel Prize scientists. They win a Nobel Prize in like chemistry or something. And then they're like, you know what? I actually could like know a lot about other stuff just because I know a lot about chemistry. And then they like will become sort of like these zealots in like other areas of science or like literature or whatever because they have this have achieved like such high status in like another field.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's what happened to Sir Anthony Hopkins.
It's called being a Renaissance man, like Anthony. Not only can he act.
Do you want to see another one of his?
Yeah.
We had two of his. I don't know if this one is better or worse.
Well, it took longer.
It took longer.
Yeah. This does have forms.
Certainly does.
It's got some squiggles. It's got some lines. He gave up like in the middle of the eyes on the right.
Hey, eyes are hard, man.
He's doing, and I don't know if this is an artistic choice or just lack of time, but he is doing a lot of shortcuts.
Can you describe what you mean by a shortcut?
Like I mean, just I keep getting drawn to those eyes on the right that like they have 3 eyelashes on each bottom.
But the eyelashes on the one on the right are like on the eyeball, like they're around the eyeball part. Like he forgot what he was drawing in the middle of it, or like what it was actually gonna look like finished, and drew the eyelashes on the wrong part of the eye.
Mm-hmm.
The cat has a human nose. Well, I don't even know that
I couldn't define it
as a cat.
Yeah. I took it to be a cat.
Me too. That's what that was my interpretation.
Not a horse fox or whatever. I'm
getting
the vibes
a horse fox.
Right.
So Aaron,
those eyes kind of look like the eyes of the the racist frog or whatever, like the Pepe. Is that Pepe?
Those do look like Pepe's eyes. So what do you think, Aaron? Where is this one getting hung up at? Where does this one make it into?
I mean, hopefully his funeral announcement. No, I'm kidding. I like that guy. But you know, there's a reason why he has an Academy Award.
It's one of those situations where you have to separate the art from the artist, but like the opposite way.
Yeah.
Where normally you're like, oh, I like the art so much, even though they're a bad person, I have to like.
Yeah.
I still like it, but this is like I hate the art so much, but I like the guy, and so I'll just like.
Well, it works.
Separate the art from the artist.
It works it works the opposite way too.
Here's a picture of him in studio. He's we thought it was funny that he's like wearing a Tommy Bahama shirt while he's painting. Just like literally clearly has just gone to town on this canvas, painting fucking circles and like, dude, almost nothing on this. It's like this background is just a bunch of colors that he slapped on there in his fucking Tommy Bahama shirt.
Yeah. Well,
he's like, I had a couple drinks at Margaritaville and then I got home and I felt like painting.
All these people are actors pretty much that you're showing me. Like, and
not all of them are actors, no.
Do you think Prince, was it Andrew?
Prince Charles isn't an actor. He's a pedophile.
Right.
He's a professional child molester.
Yeah. Well, yeah, his paintings are so drab that they suck the life out of you.
Yeah. So
next,
that was Anthony Hopkins.
What were our options?
The options were going to be Anthony Hopkins, Christopher Lee, David Bowie, or Russell Brand.
Dude, I hope there's a Brand in here.
Oh, dude, you would be so.
Have you seen his Christian artwork? Just kidding. I don't think that exists, but it will soon.
It will soon.
Okay, let's see if I can get these next ones pulled up. We have several of these. So this one is probably what we have the most of.
Oh.
Like this is one you're going to have.
Is this an entire retrospective?
I don't know.
You
don't
know what that word means?
It's
like I don't know what that word means.
So sometimes a museum will do a retrospective, and it'll be like at the end of someone's career or whatever, like a famous painter, it'll be like all their work, Never mind.
I guess this kind of is like that, actually.
I'm throwing those highfalutin Art Institute that lingo at you.
Yeah, dude.
I apologize. That's not very class
That's how we got here in the
me.
first place, Aaron.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, here's our first one, dude. Go ahead and describe what you're seeing here.
My God. Dude, I'd have to see this one in person, but my assumption is that if I walked into a room with that, I would leave. What the fuck is that?
Oh, dude.
Can you describe what you're seeing for our listeners?
It's like a baby's face with paint, sort of like. It looks like when they draw, like you look at a diagram of like the planets and it has like their orbits drawn or whatever. It's like that, but it's all over the baby's face.
Yeah.
Like lines all over a baby's face, overlaid on a child's face. It's kind of disturbing when you say what it is out loud. I'm just now realizing. Weird.
Yeah, it's very, very weird and not admirable. There's nothing commendable about it. Like there's just the baby's face is not like particularly well painted. It just looks like this was found in a garbage heap. Which I know that's an aesthetic, but there's also there's just so much nonsense.
Yeah.
And a little bit of nonsense is like fine. It's fine to incorporate, these patterns or whatnot, but there's just nothing striking about it. It's just disturbing. But
zoomed in
disturbing
on
and not a very oh my God.
What
the fuck? It's like on. What is this? What is this
I've
painted
zoomed
on
in
top
on the
of?
baby's face, and it's it looks like it's on. I don't know. It's tough to even say, dude. It's weird. Okay, so dude, I got more stuff to show you. This next thing is this next thing is a sculpture by this person.
Same artist.
So we'll see how much of a divergence you feel like this is.
Okay.
From a baby.
Well, now this is a horse of a different color.
It's just a lady leaning in a windowsill. She's completely naked. And there's nothing around the window, actually. It's just like you can see all of her naked body, her boobs, stuff. Whoever painted this, they got something on their mind. Yeah. I always think it's so funny to think about people sculpting like a naked lady and like just like sculpting boobs is just the idea of like some fucking, it's like it would be impossible to not look like a total perv while you're doing it,
right?
And then you know that some of them are like, what if I'm just gonna suck on it just a little bit.
Yeah,
they're like, I'm gonna suck on it just a little bit.
Can you zoom out again?
Yeah, of course,
I need to get a better look at the whole
shebang.
Yeah. Okay. I don't hate this.
Yeah, it's definitely
as much.
It has like a little bit of It shows some skill.
Yeah,
it shows some skill. But it still also speaks to something a little bit deranged, I would say. How I would describe it.
Yeah, it's there's something like kind of just like unpleasant about it.
Yeah. And it might be that I'm biased because I know who did this.
Yeah.
But
I don't have much more to comment on this one.
Okay.
I don't feel
well, that's good. I think that I'm going to have you're going to have more to say about what's coming up.
Let's see what's next.
This one's stacked.
I also don't know sculpture like very well.
No, I
this
mean
is by the same artist.
Okay. So this, I will say, of the candidates you've shown me, like throughout this whole process, this person, whoever this is, like, has the highest IQ of all of these people, because like they're at least like able to, like they're expressing themselves. Doesn't come off so like ape-like.
What are you looking at with this third one?
Like, at least these are coherent ideas, like somewhat like.
So what are you seeing?
It's
like
a picture of Mark Zuckerberg and the Facebook thumbs down, and then it says "fake book" next to it. It's very boomer. I'll say that it's very boomer. But it does. This
person
expressing.
doesn't. This person is like maybe slightly smarter than the other people that we've heard from so far.
I think that would be a pretty astute observation. You know what, dude? I'm impressed by your ability to psychoanalyze somebody based on their art. You have like multiple times now. You've really hit the nail on the head, dude. Of like somebody.
This is all I do all day. Is just like I mean, I look at a lot of artwork and I make judgments about who I think the person is.
Okay, here's another one of their paintings. So we've seen the child with the lines.
Okay, so here we have Trump, and he's in a sewer. He's in sewage.
The sewer says, "Keep out. Sewage contaminated politics. Exposure may cause illness."
And he's bathing in it.
Yeah, and Trump's bathing in it. He's bathing in it, dude. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's it works. For I mean, it works on a very basic level, like in this, like I can tell that that's Trump. That's not nothing.
Yeah.
I can tell that it's some kind of like landfill thing, and he's like, I get the point. I get it, but I'm ready to be done with it.
Okay, well, how about this is the last one?
Oh shit!
It's just a painting or a drawing of everybody's favorite robot, Stephen Hawking.
Yeah. So, I haven't heard the choices yet, but I want to say this is Jeffrey Epstein. He's just like painting his friends. And I mean, the first image, the baby or whatever, is probably
dead giveaway.
A victim. But
oh no! Don't look at this. Whoop.
Oh, I can't.
I don't know how that got up there. Yeah, you probably.
Grandpa's eyes don't work that good anyway.
Okay, so you want me to give you the options?
Yes, please.
Is it A, Corey Feldman? Is it B, Jeffrey Epstein?
Wait, is
it C, Damon Wayans? Or is it D, Jim Carrey?
So I've seen some of Jim Carrey's work, I think, at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it looking like that.
Interesting.
I think my like the best guess I have, because it could be any of those people.
Isn't that the worst part with all of these? Is
Yeah.
They could easily be any of the four.
Give me the choices again. Sorry.
Your choices are A, Corey Feldman, B, Jeffrey Epstein, C, Jim Carrey, or D, Damon Wayans. I inversed Jim Carrey and Damon Wayans, but you get it.
All right, let's just go with Jeffrey Epstein.
Do you want to lock it in? Final answer?
No. Now that you. All right, Jim Carrey.
It's Jim Carrey.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, good. Through context clues,
I put the video.
that.
I realized I forgot to put the video in the drive, but it's in there now. If you
No,
want
I got him. But wait,
the one that I found on the Whoa
Jim
Dude
Carrey
subreddit.
video.
Yeah.
Because
Whoa,
those
dude.
stoners really like looking at Jim Carrey's art.
Really?
Yeah. With it being 420 and everything.
What time is it?
It's 2:22.
We gotta get going. I think we're gonna skip the video. We don't need to play that video because I want to play the other videos.
Yeah, those
later.
ones are
They're
more
shorter.
important.
They're good. Okay, so we're gonna chug right along, Aaron.
All right.
We're going. We're doing it. And coming up next, dude, this I think you're gonna love.
Let's see it. Oh shit. Oh shit.
What do you see there?
What I see someone who needs to take their lithium.
I'll zoom out for you again so you can get the full scope.
Oh, wow.
Dude, I love a painting where it's like it doesn't matter which direction you hang it.
Yeah, a bird's going to shit on it regardless. Right?
Yeah, exactly. It does look like
it's giving bird shit.
It's giving bird shit. Do you want to see another one?
No. Go on. Yeah.
Here you go. Here's another one.
Wow.
This one probably giving something pretty similar, if I had to guess. And one final.
Wow, man.
They definitely have a style.
They do. They do indeed. Yeah, I gotta hand it to this person. They've wasted way too much of my time. Yeah, I don't know. This should be these pieces. The only way that these pieces would be redeemable is if they are used for kindling for homeless people.
Well, let me give you your options.
Okay.
So is it A, Brian Johnson of AC/DC? Is it B, Anthony Kiedis, C, Gene Simmons, or is it D, John Hinckley Jr.?
Well,
in reverse order, John Hinckley Jr., Gene Simmons, Anthony Kiedis, or Brian Johnson of AC/DC.
Man. So my reasoning for who I'm about to say is like I did initially, like whenever I saw this, my first thought was like this was painted by a douchebag.
Which
so I
douchebag?
must go. Well, I know that doesn't narrow it down once again, but that's for that reason I know that it's not John Hinckley. But I do. I want to believe that this is Anthony Kiedis of Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's your answer?
Mm-hmm.
This is Gene Simmons.
Really?
Yes, Gene Simmons painted
from
this.
Kiss.
Yes, Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Legendary piece of shit.
Legendary piece of shit. You were spot on.
Yeah.
He is a giant piece of shit.
And even a worst painter of an artist.
Yeah. Well, that was absolutely.
Okay.
Do you want to show him that picture of him in the gallery?
Oh yeah, I forgot I have that one. Yeah, dude, Gene Simmons in his
he
gallery.
looks so like such a douchebag.
Yeah, he looks like a pretty big piece of shit. Here it is.
Oh hell yeah.
He's doing that like it's like a thing with his hands that people do to make themselves seem more powerful.
Yeah.
It's pretty lame.
He's pondering his
Let's
orb.
look at that there painting there, Jake.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's got some texture to it.
Yeah, well, it looks like he painted on a trampoline. Yeah, God help us all.
Okay, dude, speaking of God help us all, we're going to move right along to our next image. I think this one is going to be the toughest one.
I can't remember.
What the fuck? Okay. This.
Can you describe what you're looking at?
This looks like I painted it, honestly. Bravo. What? And this is a celebrity painter.
Yeah. This is a celebrity painter. Do you want me to give you the options?
So this is the only image I get to look at?
This is the only one that we have for this.
Really?
This one. Yes.
And anything else would give it away.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, give me the options.
Okay. It's is it A, George W. Bush, B, ChatGPT, C, Grok, or D, Gemini?
What are Grok and Gemini?
They're
other AI things?
Yeah, they're all AI.
I was going to say like this like like I didn't want to say that it was good. But it does like it has the trappings of like it looks I almost said literally like it looks like you typed in ChatGPT like paint a Goya or paint a Rembrandt or something. So I gotta choose one of the AI things, I would presume.
Dude, okay, this was our only trick question. This is a Rembrandt painting. You got it right. I feel like we give it to you because you literally said Rembrandt.
Yeah.
And we didn't put it as an answer. We were testing you with this one and you passed.
Yeah.
Aaron. But that's an actual Rembrandt. Thank God it's not AI.
It popped up on some lists I saw that was like famous terrible works of art. I'm like, that still's a good painting.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
So surprise, surprise, the good artist painted the good painting.
Yeah. I feel like, wow, this whole thing was a psyop.
Dude, yeah, it kind of was. Okay.
But I'm glad I didn't embarrass myself too bad.
You nailed it, dude.
By
What do you
shitting
mean?
on
You
Rembrandt?
you didn't embarrass yourself at all. You fucking totally got it.
Well.
Okay, here we go. Next up.
Oh, boy.
Tell us what you're seeing in this one, Aaron.
Who did this?
I wonder.
So it
who
looks
did
like
it.
I see a couple of like female figures. They're kind of lost in this. They get lost in the sauce a little bit.
Yep.
He took some liberties. Whoever this fucking pervert
They're
is.
doing something God wouldn't like.
That is true.
Whatever it is, God doesn't like.
And
it.
there's a rainbow underneath them.
Yep. But it's like not a complete rainbow, I don't think. Is it missing some colors or?
It certainly is missing some colors.
Yeah, I might be stupid, but that's not all the colors.
No. Yeah, this is painted by one of those people that's like, it cuts off after gay or whatever. Like, lesbian, gay. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is painted by someone that likes women but doesn't or likes lesbians but doesn't know how to express that at all.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Do you want me to give you your options?
Yes.
Okay, so is this A, Jeffrey Epstein, B, Meryl Streep,
Okay.
C, Casey Anthony, or D, Lucy Liu?
Let's go Epstein.
This is Lucy Liu.
Is it?
Yeah, I really do think that this would be something that Jeffrey Epstein would paint, though.
Yeah.
And that says a lot about Lucy Liu.
Yeah, this looks like he's drawing up plans.
We're gonna pull up her website for you to see because all of her art is like not good.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So she has some silk screens on her page, and they all look like charcoal drawings that were then like scanned and turned into like a bitmap halftone. Right. And they're nothing to write home about.
Let's see.
Art.
Yeah, the homepage of her splashing paint on a piece of glass.
I just click art, right?
Yeah.
Her weight of what is going on? She's an actress.
She's an actress, artist, and advocate.
They're always doing something.
In general, she advocates.
Oh, she works with UNICEF.
I've actually always been a huge advocate.
Yeah,
put that in your
what?
Instagram bio.
I'm an enormous advocate, dude.
Here's some of her stuff. I'm trying to find it. Sculpture? Is it under sculpture?
The sculptures are garbage as well.
Let's look at her advocations.
It's UNICEF.
It's
she
just
advocates
UNICEF.
for UNICEF.
Wait, what's UNICEF again?
It's like the UN United Nations International Committee on Economic something or economic aid. It's like
Economic
aid.
and Social Council.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good thing to be involved with.
She's like, I fund the UN.
Yeah.
Oh, should anybody be able to fund the UN? I don't know. This
wow.
is
look at that zipper.
These are some spines
that
are sewn.
I thought it was a zipper.
Sewn on. It's like a
What page are you on?
This is the one titled what's it? Totem.
Is that
I'm clicking through here. It's like I click on the art homepage or like the homepage of her website.
It's one of those fancy
but
websites that
it's not playing.
Yeah, you have to let it sit there before it starts really going.
Really?
Yeah, because it was like her signature, and then she eventually came in with some
she was
duster.
She was like painting a clear piece of glass, and
using like a push broom as
we don't really have time to wait for Lucy Lou's website to do its fucking stupid ass thing right now.
Yeah, Lucy Lou, get your better website together.
Why don't you advocate for some tech people?
Okay, moving right along to our next one. These ones I think you're really gonna love, Aaron.
I actually do love this.
What can you describe what you're looking at?
I'm looking at a drawing of Jesse Pinkman. And he's sunburnt.
He really is. He's got an orange complexion.
Yes. Is that? Can you zoom out at all, or is that
no,
the whole
this
image?
Is
That's
the, image.
The whole
yeah,
image.
This
okay.
Is the image.
Well, I don't like that.
I'll try to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's definitely cut off. Just so you know, this image, the title of it is Hat Man.
Okay. So we are working with a complex mind.
Okay, I have another image to show you of this artist if you want to see it.
Yes, please. Uh-oh.
Can you describe what you're looking at?
Okay. So, this is this is the sequel to Hat Man. It's called Your Baby. And this is where he really started, like his mind really started developing. Instead of just having a stark background on which the head was awkwardly positioned, he's moved to a two-toned background with checkers.
Dude.
Which kind of creates, like, on the right side, it creates, like, kind of a vibrating sense, like, when you look at the letters.
Yeah, it's difficult to look at.
It's, speak for yourself.
It gives me a headache.
But, yeah,
Yar, baby.
yeah, it's interesting. So the left eye is, like, green. And it's, like, very blocky, like, with thick line. And then the right, the eye on our right looks like it was drawn during a manic episode. Yeah, this is who painted this? Shia LaBeouf.
Okay, you want me to give you your options?
Is Shia LaBeouf one of them?
No. Is this A, Ellen DeGeneres, B, Ringo Starr, C, Keith Richards, or D, Iggy Pop?
You keep bringing up Ringo Starr.
Maybe it's a red herring, dude.
Yeah, I want to say this is made by someone young. Give me those names again.
They're all pretty old.
Iggy Pop is the youngest of all.
Iggy Pop, Keith Richards, Ringo Starr, Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, man. I would think it would be very depressing, like, for Iggy Pop if he knew that I couldn't decide if this was his work or Ellen DeGeneres. I would think that would just crush him. As it should. But yeah, let's go Iggy Pop.
Okay. This is actually the work of one Ringo Starr.
What?
Yeah. And this is the one that we actually have a couple of videos to show.
Oh,
you
great.
Because it's so fucking unhinged.
Show the shorter one first.
Yeah, let me see.
I got to get going soon.
Yeah, I know.
We have one last one.
We have one more
sweet.
after this.
Let's do it.
But really quick, this video, it's a minute long. I'm going to show this one first, actually, because I love this one the most. And I gotta figure this out though. My left hand. Hat Man is so funny. Okay. Let me see here. Bing.
NFT auction. The fuck? Wait, those were NFTs?
They're
Hi,
digital.
everyone. I am excited to join this digital art community and look forward to continuing to learn and build in Web 3. Ooh, I meant to do piece in 3 then. I've been doing art for many, many years with paint, stencils, digitally, spin art, I love that. I'm honored to be part of this community. It's really important to have a platform to display your art and to be in control of how it is shared and appreciated. Holders of my NFTs will receive a special invitation to meet me in Ringo Land, my first virtual gallery on spatial.io. I got my own art gallery, baby. Yeah. Stay tuned for more details about how you can visit my galleries and future events in the metaverse. I've selected 5 unique pieces exclusively for the upcoming drop. Bam! Peace and love. And love. And love.
Oh my God.
Just absolutely unhinged.
My first question is, how do you and Ringo Starr have the same producer?
Thank
yeah,
you, Aaron.
Brett, what the hell, dude? I didn't know you worked for Ringo Starr.
Moonlighting as Ringo's
You can always tell Brett's work.
Peace and love, peace and love.
Here's another video of him. This is him talking about...
This is from like 07 when he first started doing these.
His art exhibit called Is It Time?
Yeah. I'm going to show you the computer art of the ladies that I'm doing. In fact, I'm not doing anything. I've done them, and they'll be... you can see them on the website, and you know where to get them if you want them. I know there's a lot of ducking and diving, but that's just how my website is. So, we got Charlie and Jim, and now you've seen the paintings. Peace and love, peace and love, peace.
I want to go back to him holding up this
on the
other one because it says something like
you know
hold
where to
me.
get them if you want them. I know
It says
there's a
like
lot
hold
of
me.
them,
What's it say? Hold me, love me. Yeah, hold me, love me. Did Ringo Starr write that song?
I don't know. He just wrote a song about an octopus is all I really know about.
He's a fucking absolute. Okay, we're on to our last one, dude.
Love it. Let's go. This has been so much fun.
I know. I knew you were going to love this. So here's our last one. It's a landscape.
This is Hitler.
You got it, dude.
Yeah. All right. Can we bonus question? What news publication did I pull this website from?
This image.
Oh,
who wrote an article about this painting that we're looking at?
Who wrote an article? Like what news?
Yeah, what news
publication?
outlet?
Yeah, the Hitler was too quick.
Can you tell me what year the article's from?
This year.
This year.
Oh, this year?
Yeah.
Fucking what's the Times of Israel? I don't know. Haaretz.
It was Fox News, but it might might as well have been those other.
Same thing.
Yeah, they're kind of
it's a
churning out the same
subsidiary.
shit. Yeah, dude. We were gonna. You want to know the options that we were gonna give you for this one? It sucks that you knew it was going to be Adolf Hitler, right? George W. Bush, Michelle Obama, or Boris Johnson. It is Adolf Hitler. The other disturbing thing is that you can buy prints of Hitler paintings on Amazon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty fucked up,
I said
dude.
that like I knew.
We had no idea that you could do that until we looked up Hitler painting, and then it was like
the third
9 by 12 Adolf Hitler painting, Amazon.com. So pretty fucked up.
They look like, I mean, his paintings do look like they look like the types of fake paintings you can buy at Hobby Lobby, like
the AI paintings,
most dull landscapes you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
Which they're not like incorrect or something.
They're just
like
boring.
They're horribly boring.
And that's why he got rejected from art school, is because it was, and I was talking about Jake about this. I'm sure you are aware of the degenerate galleries that the Nazis put on to kind of shame like Dadaism and Cubism and shit. Good stuff, yeah, because this is so beautiful and one-to-one of what reality was.
We did it. I was trying to calculate what your score was.
I didn't keep track.
I didn't keep track, and honestly, it's not really important.
It's more about the journey, dude.
Yeah, it's more about the journey than it is the destination.
Yeah.
Aaron, where can people find you online? Where can they see you do stand-up? Where can they buy your art?
So
where can they buy your art to store value?
Dude, yeah. I promise none of my paintings, like you would think, could be painted by Sylvester Stallone. You would never see my painting and be like, Sylvester Stallone made that shit. But my Instagram, where I keep everything, all the treasures, at bad.aaron, that's AARON .Scarbrough on Instagram, and that's really the only thing I keep updated.
And there'll be a link to that in the description of this podcast.
Yeah, and I'm gonna I've been wanting to do shit like this, just critique paintings or whatever. So thank you for the opportunity, Jake.
Of course.
You are I don't know if you know this, but you're kind of known as the Stavi's world of Kansas City.
Wow, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
Well, pretty soon, dude, we're gonna be known as the CNN of Kansas City because we're taking the mainstream media down, and we're replacing it, dude. We're exploring stuff they don't want you to talk about. They don't want you to hear about. We're the only ones telling the truth. It sucks. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want Jakin.Off to have to be the hub of intellectual enlightenment, but that's where we're at. It's what it has to be.
Someone's got to do
web.
it.
Yeah. Dude, we're the intellectual bright web. We're shining a light.
Jake, I have to go.
We're shining a light, dude. As always, you can follow this podcast at Jakin.Off.Podcast, and you can send anything at all to Jakin.Off.Podcast at gmail.com. We'll look at it at least once. So if you send us something, we'll look at it at least once. That's our guarantee. As always, thanks for listening. Brett, you got anything?
Ain't got shit.
All right. That's it. That's the end of the podcast. I love you. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.